Hello everyone. It's Cindy with Scrap Brat, and we are participating in the ABC April Challenge by Seven Plaza and Crafty by Tony. And tonight we're going to be working on C, and we're going to do coffee. Okay. And in case you are new to the world, coffee is an amazing tool that y'all can use. And we can do all sorts of things, not just paper. I know everybody's probably heard about coffee dyed paper. I'm going to kind of explain the tools that I use, both in the wintertime when I can't go outside or when it's raining, like now. And the tools that I use when it's summer and it's nice here in the Midwest. So I just want to show y'all a couple of things. All of this vintage fabric that I have is a farce. It's actually not vintage at all. I coffee dyed half of it and left the other half. Some of it is kind of vintage, but it's looks so much prettier when it's brown. I did not iron any of these. I basically just tried to get them as dry as possible. And see how the blue completely changes. If you have something that is really bright and you want it more grungy looking, you can use coffee, and you can use it on all kinds of stuff. Like this one. This is pretty by itself, but it looks so cool like that. And this one, love the way this one turned out. I mean, it was neat to begin with, but these are some squares that you will see when I do a haul. I picked them up at a thrift store. It's going to be my first haul, y'all. So be sure and watch it. I'll post it hopefully later on tonight. But I didn't like the fact that this was off-white and this was white. So I love it like this. And this green actually started out more of a Kelly green, and you get this. And this one was very eager to accept the coffee. It's a very open weave. It was white. But yeah, it's a really neat texture, but it's going to be really cool to put over a tag or something. So that is our fabric, and kind of an explanation of how you can change the colors, make something a little bit more grungy looking. You can take something that's pretty new and make it look old. It's kind of great. There's a couple more examples. I took this fabric and made it into this, which is completely different. And this one, this is the back of it. I crinkled it up and let it dry all crinkled. So I don't know if you can see the difference in the color tones. Now again, normally if I crinkle up paper, I would let it dry naturally. I wouldn't try and dry it with my heat gun, because it gets these really dark lines through it where the coffee settles. You can kind of see them for just the little bit that it was on there. But yeah. And then this one is another example. And you can also do lace. This is what we started with. I mean, it's pretty. It's a little eyelet lace I cut off of something, who knows. And then we coffee dyed it, and it gets all dirty and grungy, and just love it. And this is another piece of lace. This is before and this is after, obviously. But I did not rinse any of these. I left the coffee on them and I let it dry. And this is, I believe it was a shirt that I ripped up. So that is before coffee, and this is after coffee. Cute, cute. You can also take your book page, and this is before coffee and after coffee. And I'm going to show you a couple of the things that I use when I am indoors and can't go outside, and we'll kind of go from there. Hopefully we can make this a quick video again, because it's storming. All right. So first thing, this is a cat litter box. It was new, so no worries, guys. But you can use a deep pan or probably like some sort of a tote or something like that. This was relatively cheap. I think it was on clearance somewhere, Dollar General or something. But yeah, so I've had it for a while, and I rinse it out sometimes I don't. I usually put something with some texture on the bottom so the papers aren't like completely sitting in the coffee, because this is a way that I like to do them inside. And I found this pan at the thrift store. It has holes in it, and basically when you take your paper and you put it in here, take your paper, spray it a little bit. I'm going to show you how to make the spray here in a minute. So you spray your paper and you flip it over. And I sprayed a little bit. That's how we get these holes. Then I put this on top, and then I and then with the coffee that's already on here, I put this one on top, and then I sprayed it just a couple of, like, I think twice. The rest of it just bled through. This is actually a piece of one-sided copy paper. You know how you get the scrapbooking paper and it's one-sided? Sorry about the glare. But it's a piece of that. These I just got out for examples. It's stuff that if I don't coffee dye it, I'll probably never use it. That black one I will probably never use unless I do some sort of David Bowie journal or something. But who knows? We'll see. But yeah, so now I think after I iron it, I think it would be cool in a junk journal instead of that glaring white paper. So that is how we do that. Let me take these out of here. And I'm going to take this out of there just in case it's glaring on y'all. We don't want that. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple other pieces of paper, and then actually I'm going to show you some of the tools first. You saw the thing I had on the bottom, and that's just basically shelf liner. This is a different type of weave than the square. People use it for shelf liner. You can use it for like to stop rugs from sliding, but you can pick it up really cheap lots of places, and it makes a neat pattern on the paper. You always put, when I do my paper, I spray it front and back, then I put something on top of it. So this is going to give it some sort of texture, and it's going to kind of let the air flow and let the coffee pool. Then I would put something else on top of it, you know, and I would spray it, and then I would do another layer and spray it, and then I would put like another piece of paper down, and then I would do this, and I would spray it. Another piece of paper, you know, just keep going and going and going until you like build your little lasagna, and then let it sit there for a while, and then yeah, it dries pretty quick with the spray. Like I said, I'll show you how to make it in a minute. I put alcohol in mine, so it evaporates kind of fast. But I'm going to show you some of the tools that we use. This is the shelf liner. These are the old plastic. They look like they're crocheted, but they're not. They're the old plastic placemats. You can find them at thrift stores. If you look online, you can find them usually used or new old stock. If you do that, they are kind of expensive. So if you don't have these, there's lots of other options. And I'm going to show y'all because I have these placemats, which are really cool. And they have a good hole in there and a good design. And you could just put them on your paper. Just put them on your paper just like a little bit. I'll explain to you how I use these great big ones outside. But what you would do is, you know, just kind of put it like partially on your paper, or you can put your paper up all the way underneath it. And it just turns out really, really, really cool. Okay, so those. And then we have, now you have to excuse some of these. Some of these are well loved. This is some more of that open grid, which makes a pretty cool impression on it. And Here's some more of that, and then there's some more of the smaller kind of a grid. It's not a grid, it's design. There's another piece of that. We also have these plastic doilies. Now this one has a nice open. It's not all open. It's thundering. It's not all open, but it does have some openings on it, and it does make a really cool design. And what's really cool about this particular one is when you put the paper on top of it, it really picks up the pattern really nicely. I don't have a whole lot of examples to show you with the doilies because I use those first every time I make them because they're so pretty, but I do have some with some doily in it. Here's another one of those open ones. See how it has the openings? All these openings are going to let your apparently this was made in Taiwan. Don't know how that's still on there, but it is. But yeah, and again, if you just make your little lasagna, your little paper lasagna, it turns out really, really cool. Okay, this is another one of that kind. I'm going to show you a couple more. These I have. Now these I found at a local thrift store. They are not open. This is all of this is closed. And you can still use these. Just anything that you put underneath is not really going to have this pattern on it. It's going to have this pattern. Maybe a little bit of this, but not much. But whatever you put on this side of it will have a nice pattern. So what I usually do with these, I usually turn them face down on whatever I've done, and then I just put paper on top of them. There's quite a few of these. I bought them in a big set. Okay. So this is my beloved plastic tablecloth. I love this thing. It is huge. It is very well loved. I do try and spray it down a little bit after I'm done with it to try and make it last a little bit. But basically what I do outside, when I take my stuff outside and do everything outside when it's nice out here, I have a big picnic table. I have a vintage textured tablecloth that kind of has like the elastic on. It's kind of like a sheet. And I put it on there and I put some paper down. You know, I spray everything. I spray both sides and I put all my paper down. And then I put this guy on top of it. So my paper's here. I put my tablecloth on top, and then I put another layer of paper, and then I start putting these down, and I just kind of go from there. Sometimes I'll drag out my stencils. You could use all kinds of things for designs, and quite honestly, you don't have to use anything. I mean, you can just dye the paper, and it still turns out really, really cool. And you don't have to use a sprayer. Some people, I've seen people use paintbrushes, like the big foam paintbrushes. Let's see what I'm talking about here. I've seen people use them, and of course I can't get in my drawer. That's hilarious. Okay, so something like this. And you would just dip it in your coffee, and then you would just paint your paper, and it keeps it from getting so wet. It keeps the moisture down on the paper. It keeps it from ripping less. It's kind of beneficial. But I'm going to show y'all a couple of examples that I have. And I have an extra C word for the, oh, that sounds awful. I have an extra, I guess an honorable mention for C, for the letter C. So stay tuned to the end. And I also have a surprise thing that most of you may not think that you can coffee dye. So, excuse me. This is some paper that I had up in my cabinet. This is just coffee dyed. See that no two are alike. None of them are the same. They're just coffee dyed, and this is one that I don't know, probably turmeric, and I don't know what the green, maybe Easter egg dye, I don't know, who knows. May have been when I did these. Okay, this is one. Hopefully you can see the slight pattern from the doilies, from the plastic doilies. Hopefully y'all can see that. Let's flip it over and see if it's any better on the other side. Little bit, kind of sort of see it. This one you can kind of see it. And this is just colored copy paper. You can pick it up at any office supply store or big box store. Let's see. And it's just, like I said, it's just copy paper. And the fun thing about this is it kind of changes color. If you soak the pink long enough and really get the coffee in it, it kind of has that avocado dyed. This is actually a piece of cardstock, and it's just like, I just spritzed it. I probably had a plan for it, but you know, it's in my craft room now, and who knows what the plan was. And this is that big grid on the back of the one paper. Okay, and I did a couple of tags because you can do your one-sided papers. This one I just basically sopped up the grid so you can see the little hash marks on it. And those I was going to show y'all. And this is the pan with the circles on it. I just basically went in there and sopped up what was on there after I did it with this one. But yeah, I had these papers left over from the other day, and was thinking, well, I could make tags out of them, but they're white on the back. I can glue some coffee dyed paper, or I can just, I mean, they're decent weight. They're still a little damp, but yeah, just coffee dye them. Don't even bother gluing it on there. Just go ahead and put it on there. And I want to show y'all some ribbon because we have some bright ribbon over here. Okay, these are some. This one was like a pale pink with bright pink in it. That one's still pretty bright. This was yellow. This one was white. Okay, this one was blue. It was that color of blue, and it turned that color, which I love. And this one, which one was this? I think that was another yellow one. This one was this. So you never, it's kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But it's kind of fun to see, you know, what color, some of the bright stuff that you may not want to use. I mean, you may have tons of pale pink ribbon from somebody's wedding or something, and you know, you don't know what to do with it because you like brown and dirty and grungy. Well, you can spray it with coffee. And this is a piece of twill tape that I did. It was white, and this is actually a nylon, which I didn't think it would take, but it took. I mean, it's not completely brown, but it's kind of a taupey color. So that is the basics of the coffee dyeing. And how I mix, I use this cheap instant coffee. It's from a local grocer, and yeah, it's pretty cheap, and you don't take much. I would use it in a take it in a measuring cup, and I'd put in probably about 2 cups of hot water, hot water, and I would put in, depending on how dark whatever I was in the mood for. I usually make mine pretty dark because I figure I can always spray them with water if I want to lighten it up. And I usually keep this in my room at all times in case I need to use it for something. But yeah, like 2 tablespoons, 1 to 2 tablespoons, and depending on how dark your instant coffee is, would depend on how dark this is going to be. So, you know, sometimes you need more. I used to buy one that it would take almost, it was a little bitty guy, but it would take up almost a whole thing to just get one batch, and that was ridiculous. I found this and I like it. It's pretty dark and I love it. So what I would do is take the 2 cups, and then I would just sit there and stir it 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 until all the coffee is melted. So, you know, it's all, the granules are no more. So then I would pour it into my spray bottle or put it in a bowl and use the paintbrush technique, and spray whatever you need to spray. And then if you have some left over, then I would take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, maybe, I don't know, a tablespoon or 2, and put it in here. It keeps it from going bad and smelling. It also helps with, like I said, it helps with it evaporating. So I've had this one in here really all year. The last time I did a big batch was fall, early fall of 2024. So it's been in here all year, and it's still great. Still smells like coffee. It doesn't smell yucky. So, yeah. So if you have any questions and you think I forgot anything, or I skipped over something, went over it too fast because I'm a little bit nervous about the storm, then please comment below and I will touch on it a little bit better. And I did want to say that this is just a piece of this twine. It's just twine. It's old, like twine. But I did put coffee on one side of it to show y'all that you can even do it to your twine. So, but yeah, so I'm going to show you one thing that you didn't probably think that you could actually coffee dye, and it's something that some crafters do not use in their craft room. I do because, well, I don't like my hands being too messy. But it's paper towels. I take these and I wipe up ink with them. I will wipe down, you know, get the coffee out of here using this, and I get it all dirty with the coffee, and it's okay, you know, because I'm done using it for the day. So I will wipe all of this mess up, or if I've used something on my desk, I'll wipe it up, and then I take and I save these paper towels, and I take them and I just hang them up to dry. And yeah, then you can take them after they dry. You can take them and peel them apart. I will tear it up if I do it, but you can take them and peel them apart. But usually I will use this over and over again until it's pretty saturated with color before I do anything with it. I normally wouldn't have just used it once for dry or for washing my hands off and then cleaned up this much coffee with it. I would have just left it in here probably, because I'm going to be doing more because I'm out of all my coffee paper, out of everything. Winter's hard. It's so hard. So, yeah, but we can get a little bit more saturated and show you all a little bit better. So then I would take this, would let it dry. Then I would take it and I would peel it apart just like you do a napkin. And they come in layers depending on how thick your paper towels are. I think this is a 2-ply. But you peel them apart, and then you have 2 coffee dyed pieces of napkin that you can put over a journaling card. You can put it over a bingo card, just to kind of give it that extra texture and that extra color and that extra grunge that we're all kind of wanting. So I did say there was going to be an honorable mention for another word that begins with the letter C, and that come from went to the thrift store. I came home and had this top. I don't know how it got in my stuff. If it's yours and I bought it by mistake, I'm sorry, but it's just not. I mean, I love the colors in it. I actually like the fabric. It's not something that I would wear, but I do really like the sleeves. But you can't wear a top just because you like the sleeves. So we're going to talk about clothes and how to use those in a junk journal. And nobody freak out, but we're going to try this. Hopefully this works. We're going to take it. We're going to give it a little snip. I don't know what this is going to do, how it's going to look, but that's not too bad. For this material, I'm actually quite pleased. So we're going to take it and we're just going to tear it into little, my goodness, I'm so sorry about my loud family. Tear it into little strips, and now you can use this as little tag toppers. You can use it as a journal closure. You can use it just like you would ribbon or seam binding or anything else. I've done this with all kinds of clothes. I've done it with scarves. I've taken something like that. I had a skirt that I loved. The elastic in the waist went out. So I took it and I cut it up into strips, and then I took it over to my sewing machine and I made a ruffle out of it. I don't know if I have any of it left. But yeah, I made a little ruffle out of it. If I have some of it left, I'll bring it in and use it in the next video or two. But yeah, so you can use your clothes. Say they don't fit, they got a stain on them, whatever the case may be. Denim jeans are great. Flannels are fantastic. And if you don't like the brightness of it, I think this is actually kind of beautiful. But you don't like the brightness of it, you can coffee dye it. You can coffee dye your clothes and still get use out of them. Especially if it's something that is, you know, those things that we have that we just hold on to. Either it's something that doesn't fit or somebody gave us. We went somewhere in that certain top and we don't want to get rid of it, even though it hasn't fit in years. This is something that you could do to actually honor those memories and put them in your journal. This isn't a memory for me. This was an oops. So like I said, if any of my people from the Midwest are watching and I accidentally ended up with your top, I apologize. But yeah, so I wanted to show you all that. And yeah, that is it for the day. I hope that y'all are all enjoying the collab, the ABC April 2025 collab, and that you're getting to watch those videos, and you're giving those creators a thumbs up, because small channels and large channels benefit from that. It actually makes the algorithm think that, you know, hey, people are watching this, so let's push it. So other people get to see it, and other people get to join in and experience some of the things that you have. And hopefully if you've watched this far, you give me a thumbs up. And if you want to keep seeing what I'm going to be putting out, then please subscribe. And yeah, you stay safe out there if it's storming in your area, and much love to all. And yeah, spread the joy. Thank you. Goodbye.